What is going on, you guys? Welcome to today's video. It's currently January 3rd. We are exactly 1 month away from Euro Tripper, which is crazy. It's already it's so close and there's still so much to do. Like I said, I want to try and bring all the cars to the show. Don't know if it's possible, but I'm going to try my very best to make it happen. For the most part, all of the cars are good to go. Like, there's additional things I want to do, like the body kit on this car, the brakes, additional stuff. But as the car currently sits with the Rieger front lip, the Vortex rear lip, the cars can all go as is. I have to patch one tire on one of the OZ Cygnus to have a full set back on Miley. Put the BBS RCs, I think, onto this car. The Savoy is good to go as it currently sits. And then the Pink Floyd, I think I'm gonna leave the car completely stock because it's kind of like a sleeper, because the entire exterior of the car for the most part is just stock. It has a yachting lip, everything's been trim painted, but it's not super flashy. It's still stock height, still stock wheels, but underneath it's full 1.8T swap. The interior looks super good. So I think that car as like the sleeper car and still like bone stock on the outside but completely done on the inside will still be cool in its own right. So that car's good to go. The Savoy's good to go. Miley needs one tire patch, that's good to go. BBS to the Mark II, and this is good to go. Still possibly if I want to do the exhaust and headers and stuff, which I want to do, but I just haven't done it yet. And then obviously the rest of the parts for this car, all the Zender kit, which is just additional stuff. But for the most part, where the cars are sitting currently, we're all in a pretty good spot. It's just getting all the cars from here to there. It's expensive and it's a lot of cars to move. But again, I am trying my best, so we'll see what happens. But it's just crazy that Euro Tripper is 1 month away. So we got prep work to do. This is the last little bit. We got to get it done. The plan for today, in preparation for good old Euro Tripper, we need to get these bad boys broken down. Now, all these calipers are in good working condition. There's still some meat left on the pads. They could be ran exactly how they sit right now, but since they're off the car, we're gonna go through, make them look brand new. The powder coat's already been ordered, so we can change the color. New patch to the front, new patch to the rear, and the seal kit to rebuild everything. Currently, I didn't see any leaks. All the seals and boots still are in good shape, but again, while it's out, might as well go through, replace everything, make them look brand new. And again, these powder coated, and I'll show you on the car. And this beautiful red we have right there isn't look super good. I mentioned the idea before about running the 6-piston calipers on the front of the wagon and running the 4-piston calipers in the rear of the wagon, which would be super cool, but very expensive to try and make all that happen for Euro Tripper. So focusing on the front only, we'll run these ones on the wagon, which are gonna look super good, and then maybe later on use these ones in the rear, or this could double as a front caliper for one of the Mark IIIs. I've talked about it before. I've always wanted to run Porsche calipers in the front of Miley, and I think these could be them. So either rear for the Mark IV or front for the Mark III. Either way, we got them. They'll be rebuilt, ready to go. I'm not going to powder coat these ones yet because they might not be the same color if I use my Miley, but they'll all be rebuilt and ready to go. I'll probably never stop saying this, but this is such a ridiculous and absurd size for a caliper. It just makes no sense. And we're putting it on this car, and it's just hilarious to me. And I'm so excited because it looks so good and they're awesome, but like, this is a huge caliper. And I love it. Just look at this thing. And I know you're looking at it, but like, just look at this thing. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that this will fit under a 17-inch wheel makes no sense. God, this thing is so just massive. Tank of a caliper. Tank number 2. And as big as these calipers are, because I mean, this is a 4-piston caliper. This is a good caliper. This thing's beefy, it's big, but like, oh, what was that? But next to this, I mean, this thing looks like nothing compared to that. Craziness. Absolute craziness. On the front caliper here, for us to go through and remove the pads and everything on the inside is very simple. There's one 13mm bolt on the side. We'll undo that one, slide our guide pin out to the right, and all this will lift up and out. Then on the rear caliper here, there's no bolt like the front calipers have. It's just a pin, which is right there. Pull the pin up, pop your pin out and through, and then same thing, lift everything up and out. So like I said, we'll loosen this 13 right on the outside. Now mind you, this has been pulled apart before, so mine is already very loose. If it's still in the car, you haven't pulled apart before, you might want to soak it in some PB Blaster, because these things get pretty tight and you don't want to strip it out. So there is that one out of the way. And then from there, you have this. It happens to be pushed down just a little bit, and we will slide this pin out. I'm definitely have to go through and clean these pins up because they kind of stick, but there's that. So keep these together so you don't lose anything. And then from there, we can just lift the entire thing up and out. And there you go. So, pads are out of the way, pins out of the way, we're left with just the caliper. You can see inside of there, we have 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So we'll pop those out in just a minute, but let's go through first and get all these taken apart, all the pads out, and then we'll go through and pop the pistons out of there. Step 1 has been completed. All the pads have been removed from each caliper. Now we can see inside very nicely. 3 on that side, 3 on that side for the fronts, and then on the rear here, the 4 pistons, you can see 2 on that side and 2 on that side. So next step will be using the air compressor. We'll grab this tool over here, this little air nozzle, which will connect this to the port right here on the back. Put a piece of wood on the inside and go through and pop all the pistons out. Then we can go through and remove the seals, the dust cover, and get these things fully broken down. So I don't have any spare wood to put into the caliper, so what I did, fold up some cardboard like so. That'll sit just like this and should work perfectly. All we're trying to do here is make sure that when we compress the caliper and the pistons come out, this side doesn't smack into that side and vice versa, so this should work perfectly. Turn on my little compressor, which isn't much, but should be all we need. That came out really easily. Oh, there you go. And we need more. Alright, so on that first one you saw, we blasted the center one out pretty much immediately, almost like no pressure. I have a little O-ring on top of here to kind of seal to there as I put the air into it. But now the air is going straight from here, straight out of this one and not moving the rest of them. So I think I'm going to plug this one, take the bottom crossover bar off, and then pressurize this side and push these ones out, then do the same thing on this side, pressurize this side, and pop those 3 out, and that should do it, because pushing from one side isn't going to push enough air through all of them. So I think if I block this one off, go from here, this side, go from there, that side, that should work. Alright, so with that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and plug this back one, the main one here. I'll pressurize this side and see if we get better results. Alright, so still same thing, all of my air, because the one's missing, all the air's from the middle one, so I guess I'll put this one back in and try and get all 3 to move at the same time. We'll need to hold this one and get the whole side to move as one. So let me go ahead and restart real fast, and then we'll get that taken care of. Actually, let me just try the front side here, since this one has all 3 still in. With this, I should be able to keep it closer and move all 3 out, hopefully at the same time. Alright, so we got the front one to pop forward. I need the back 2 to also move though. Alright, so the front one's moving pretty good, but the other two on the back are not. So I guess cardboard in theory for like a single piston caliper, great idea. But for these ones, I'm gonna have to actually hold this one with something solid to actually hold it here. That way I can move all three of them. Give you a better look, you can see this front one here, pop forward but not fully out, and then obviously that one came all the way out. So like I said, new plan, something solid, make sure this can't pop all the way out, and we'll work our way down and pop this entire side out of there. So I didn't record it, I apologize. I was just kind of testing and messing around, but this worked perfectly. So you can see 1, 2, and 3 all been popped forward. This is my contraption. Maybe not the most ideal thing, but it worked perfectly. Like I said, you want to hold all 3 tight, let them move just a little bit, that way you can press the entire side, pop all 3 forward, and you're good to go. Whereas on this side, the cardboard would have worked with a single piston, but since this one popped all the way out, now there's a big hole on this side, so I can't really compress the entire thing. So this one will have to go back in, or I need to find a way to block up that center hole and compress the entire side. But this side worked perfectly. So once I pull the wood out, I can wiggle those 3 out of there, and then it's good to go. So if we look here, you can see the 3 pistons from the outside of this caliper were removed, and they go from biggest to smallest from the bottom to the top. So you have this one, this one, this one. These 2 are very, very close, but this one is bigger. So biggest to smallest. Now on the other side, I didn't want to have to try and put that top piston back that I already popped out. So I just spun it backwards, held it with the wood, and popped the other 2 out. So now we can go ahead and remove our wood blocks here. And now these should, oh, maybe they need a little bit more. Oh, this one's out. So I'm gonna leave that one in. This one needs a little bit more, I think. Oh, got it, there it is, bam. So, bottom, middle, and top. Bam, all in very good shape. No rust, corrosion. Everything inside looks to be in good shape as well, which is very good. And there's brake fluid everywhere, which is why the carbon went down, to not make a mess. So now on this one, I can go through, pull out our outer dust cover, pull out the inner seal, and these ones will be completely broken down and ready for powder coat. Now some of these want to come out in one piece, and some of them want to kind of rip and tear. That one. This center one here is giving me some trouble, if I can get it. Oh, look at that, bam. It tore a little bit on the top side, but I was able to still pop the entire thing out. So there is our outside seals, and then we'll have to use the hook pick, get inside, pull the little gasket out. Once you're to this point, rebuilding these is the same as any other caliper. You have your outside dust cover, inside seal, and it's pretty easy to do. A lot of brake fluid in the mouth, love that. There it is. Oh, there it goes. Looks to be, I mean, I don't think these are ever rebuilt, but they're in really good shape. None of these seals were torn. None of these look broke down, but seal number 2. I don't know how many miles were on this this vehicle, but I don't think it's very much, because the brakes moved very, very easily. There's no like corrosion inside here. They're a little bit dirty, but like corrosion wise, these are some of the cleanest calipers I've ever seen, which just makes my job much easier. And honestly, I could leave all this in here and not rebuild the insides, and they should work just fine. But since it's out, you might as well. Final seal there. So our outside is good. Now repeat the process on the inside, and this caliper is done. All right, caliper has been completely gutted inside and out. You can see all of our internals here. Again, this is going from smallest to largest, and on the caliper from the bottom side up, it goes biggest to smallest in terms of piston size. So this will be first, this one, and then this one. And you can see even better on the actual inside seals the difference in size from the largest one on the bottom, then medium, then small, and then same for your seals here. Largest one on the bottom, then medium and small. So I don't think there's any difference between the outside or the inside pistons versus the outside pistons, but I will put them all back exactly where they came from. All to be in good shape, which is very nice. So there you go. First caliper completely gutted. Good to go. gutted and gutted. For some reason on this other caliper, the front piston here took forever to pop out. No corrosion, it looks brand new still, but I couldn't get enough pressure to the front one, so I had to like reset a few times, pour pressure to the back too, and finally got it pop out. But there's all those, all the covers, all the O-rings, everything's out. So I'm gonna go through, wipe these down real fast, and then fronts are ready to go. I'm gonna leave the rears actually complete for right now. I have the rebuild kit and new pads for these ones, but since they're not going to powder coat just yet, instead of pulling everything apart, possibly losing something, I'll just keep them as one until I'm actually ready to use them. But these ones, very, very soon. Bright red, gonna look so sick. So aside from being sandblasted, the front two calipers, I would say, pretty much good to go. Seals are out, dust covers out, pistons are out. I'm gonna leave the crossover bar on here. I want this to be powder coated red with the caliper. I will pull off the top covers here and have just the bleeder valve powder coated red as well, and then we'll do the black cover on top. Yeah, aside from just being sandblasted, ready to go. They're cleaned down as best I could, which is a wire brush. There's still some spots where the paint's chipping and there's still some dirt on there, but when the powder coater has them, he can sandblast them, prep everything, and they will be ready to go. It looks so good. Bright Illusion Cherry Red. Porsche logo on the front. Gonna be looking spicy on the wagon with the wheels. It's gonna be a killer combo. I was hoping the powder coat would arrive today, but sadly it did not. So as soon as that arrives, we can go take these, drop them off at the shop, and then after that, all I'm gonna need is the adapter bracket to fit that caliper on the Mark IV, the R32 rotor, and then they are ready to go on the car. Like I said earlier, for right now, the rear calipers will just stay complete as one. Like I said, I do have the rebuild kit for these ones and the new pads, but until I figure out what car they're gonna go to, whether this car or one of the Mark IIIs, I'll leave them silver, and then once it's time to actually powder coat them to match one of the cars, we'll do so. I'm gonna end this video here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully if you're tearing down a set of 17Zs, this was somewhat helpful. Learn from my mistakes. Make sure you block off all three at once, not just shoot one out the middle and go backwards from there. But again, hope you guys enjoyed. Do not forget, be thankful for every single day. See you guys next time. Peace.